Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to Itali-Echo, Boston's only bilingual show. This is your host, Viviana Dragani, and this is WNTN Radio, Boston's hub for international radio. Today, my guest is music producer BG408. Welcome.
Hey, welcome. Good to be here. Good morning.
Good morning. What a beautiful voice you have.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, where are you from, first of all, and how did you first get into music production?
So I am one of the few Bay Area natives. I say that because this is a giant melting pot. So people move here from all over the country, but I was actually born here, went to school here. So I'm as California as sunshine and beaches.
Okay, thank you. And now let's talk about your single. So, what was the inspiration and the motivation for it?
So when the war started and we started receiving those images from CNN and BBC, it was just it didn't sit well with me. I realized that a lot of people just like me who work in tech just had their lives torn apart and they enlisted in the Ukrainian military because there are a lot of Ukrainians here in the Bay Area
Hmm.
who work in tech that I've worked with over the years. So when I saw how their life was being torn apart, it didn't sit right with me because I realized that could happen to me, and I said to myself, how would I feel if someone invaded my country and just a week earlier I was, working in an office space or, from my kitchen table working from home, and then all of a sudden I was defending my country, my friends, my family. How would I feel, and what type of song would I want to hear that would motivate me in that type of environment? And it was about a week after the war, after watching all this imagery come through, I said, you know what, this is how I feel. I, Usually things don't affect me this way, but this is really, it really came home to me, and I said, okay, I had to make this song. So I wrote it from the position of if I were a Ukrainian soldier or a Ukrainian citizen, and I was out defending my country, what thoughts would be on my mind or be going through my head as I would be going through my new job that I got conscripted into.
All right, so please tell us what's the title of the song again?
The title of the song is GTFO Ukraine, and GTFO is get the out of Ukraine, and that is the only thing. People say, well, what do you want to see come out of this? The Ukrainians want the Russians gone, and they want to get back to their way of life to the best way of possible, and that's what's been taken away from them is just we take things for granted, making our coffee in the morning, dropping the kids off for school. And when this comes along and we're seeing the complete cities being wiped off the earth and families are being destroyed and broken up, that's just not cool in the 21st century. There are
No.
better ways to solve and resolve problems without resorting to violence, and whether it's on a personal scale or on an international scale, like we're seeing with this war, we have to be better. We have to do better.
Yeah, I totally agree. This is really a senseless war and a tragedy. Yeah. So tell us, when is your favorite time of the day to create?
So, if, strangely enough, I can be tired all day long, but come like 11:30, 12 o'clock, I'll start waking up. But around 1:30, between like 1:30 in the morning to like 4 o'clock in the morning, I am firing on all cylinders. And I think it just has a lot to do with it. It's quiet. Everyone else is asleep at that time, generally speaking. There's not a lot of noise going on. And I'll go out into my backyard, and I'll sit out there and I'll watch the stars, and I'll just start writing. And it's amazing how being in that kind of environment, it doesn't seem like it would bring about thoughts, especially with some of the how people say, oh, with your lyrics, how do you get up for those lyrics? I'm like, I literally just go to a quiet place, usually someplace really serene, and just kick back and swallow, let the emotions swallow me up, and then regurgitate that feeling in words.
Wow, awesome. And what about future plans? Are you open to doing any collaboration on future projects?
So, since I'm new at this, I started the whole music production thing during the pandemic. I was locked down at home, and I thought I got an extra couple of hours in a day, so I bought some software and started, having fun, basically, unwinding. And the hardest thing about it is it's like you're producing art in a vacuum. So I would absolutely love to do some collaboration work with some other artists, simply because it allows you to grow, understanding other people's processes and how they do things. I don't know if I'm doing things right or wrong. Is there a proper way to do this? I'm not sure, but this is my workflow, and I would love to be able to see how someone else's workflow is set up, and maybe it's more efficient. They can go through their progressions, when they're writing chords or whatever it is they're doing faster. But yeah, working with someone else would actually be fantastic, simply because of the learning process, and that's what I think I enjoyed so much about this is not just being able to give to people, but the ability to every day I'm learning something new. Every day I'm being challenged, and to me, for my propeller brain, a little propeller on my hat, a little geek hat. That's something I enjoy a lot.
Fantastic. So your song is doing quite well. How many listeners so far?
So I've seen the stats just off of Spotify. I know there are over 20,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. It's been streamed over 25,000 times just on that platform alone over about a 2 week period. So I haven't seen the stats from the other platforms. I did see one of the smaller reports. It's not like Billboard, but it was another top 10 list where I made it in a top 10 for an indie song. So I didn't know how receptive the song was going to be, simply because it's so specific in the market. But people have shown me a lot of love and appreciation for that. And like on my Facebook page, I get a lot of responses back from people in Ukraine or in Poland or in their surrounding Eastern European area, thanking me for the support. And that to me means more than absolutely anything. And they will simply want to know that we haven't forgotten them, that they're in our thoughts and in our prayers. And they, one woman, she was an older woman. She in her 60s. She goes, "It's not the music I normally listen to, but I put it on in the morning." And I thought, okay, that's what I wanted to hear, because I wanted to give that motivation to go through, so they can go through their day, because I know it has to be. I can't even imagine what they're going through, honestly.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hey, thank you so much for having me.
And now, guys, stay tuned because we're going to play GTFO Ukraine. Thank you.